Jude Bellingham's managers have informed Real Madrid that they are talking to Liverpool. Jude Bellingham's managers have told Real Madrid that they are currently talking about a transfer with Liverpool. Journalist Jan H. Fjortoft claimed that Bellingham is currently in talks with both clubs for a summer move. Bellingham told Real Madrid that they are also talking to Liverpool. There are no favourites at the moment. They are exploring options at this stage, he said. This can be considered both a positive and a negative update for Liverpool. It is clear that talks about a move with the Reds have begun, which is clearly positive. But the same can be said for Madrid. After months or even years of speculation, it looks like the Bellingham race is finally getting into gear. Bellingham has always said that he will not rush into a decision about his future. It was always clear that the 19-year-old would wait to get the World Cup with England off the road first. Now that the tournament has long since disappeared in the rearview mirror, the countdown to its eagerly awaited decision may begin. Given that Liverpool are still doing well in the race, you might think they would be aware of what price they would charge Borussia Dortmund for praising the player. As a result, these talks with the Bellingham clan will be very important. The young man's father is said to be the key man in discussions that should make life easier for the clubs involved. Jürgen Klopp and his team are extremely keen on bringing their primary transfer target, Jude Bellingham, to Liverpool. The 19-year-old is a world-class talent and there is no doubt that he will definitely help the Reds improve their midfield. There's no need to re-enter Liverpool's midfield issues, but having Bellingham on board will likely help them sort out their mid-park issues at Anfield. Bill TV presenter Valentina Masseri spoke to Sky Sports News about the possibility of Bellingham moving to the Reds. He said the teenager's father was in constant contact with the club and that the manager was also willing to bring the player to Anfield. But when it comes to him, the decision will be up to Bellingham himself. It feels like we won't have to wait too long to find out, as updates are now coming thick and fast. James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Naby Keita's contracts expire in the summer. Moreover, while it cannot be denied that Jordan Henderson and Fabinho have not been their best performances this season, it is imperative that Liverpool look beyond the names mentioned and sign many sustainable players who can play for the Reds in the long run. However, the Reds will need to strengthen their home form this season, because the possibility of the team playing in the UEFA Champions League next season is not a sure shot. Liverpool are currently 9th at the table and need to improve their form as soon as possible to enter the top 4. By signing Bellingham, Liverpool will receive a player who has the potential to make a significant contribution for many years to come. Bellingham's vision, passing ability and run rate are top-notch. He shows maturity and poise that goes beyond his age. Therefore, he will have a lot to add to Liverpool. Liverpool are planning to make a move towards the transfer target of Barcelona playing in the Premier League in late January. Liverpool are in a transitional period for midfielders at Anfield and Jürgen Klopp will be hoping FSG will give him the opportunity to rebuild and renovate the centre of the pitch in 2023. After a series of inconsistent and uninspiring performances at the top this season, the Reds are now 9th in the Premier League, 10 points away from the Champions League qualifiers in the top 4 before the second half of the season. Liverpool has already dived into the transfer market this month with the acquisition of Dutch forward Cody Gakpo early in the window. However, Liverpool is expected to grow stronger and continue on their way in the coming weeks and months before they smash through the top 4 spots. There is no doubt that midfield is an area of concern for the Merseyside Giants. And some players have either reached the end of their contract at the club this summer or are in the final stages of their careers. As a result, midfield rebuilding is becoming an urgent challenge for the Reds, and while they need a young injection, it will be very advantageous to find a player who can offer them experience along with longevity. One of the players linked to the transfer to Merseyside is Wolverhampton Wanderers midfielder Ruben Neves. Not only is he an excellent profile in terms of Premier League experience and energy, but a player who could be a much cheaper alternative to reported target Declan Rice. The Portuguese player, who has made more than 18 Premier League appearances this season, was described as a fun to watch by Shrewsbury's Elliot Bennett. He also scored 4 goals and successfully completed 4% of his dribbles. He averaged 2.1 shots per game, 2.6 tackles, 1.4 interceptions and 2.4 gaps per game. Not only that, but according to FBref, Rice has been one of the players most similar to Neves in the last 12 months. The two midfielders have shared similar data on several stats so far throughout 2022-2023, including pass completions, goal scoring actions, dribbles completed, tackles won, and progressive passes. The signing of Neves will be a big move for the Reds, and with a £50 million transfer fee that has always seemed to drop, he looks like a better alternative to the £100 million West Ham United will charge Rice. The Mirror suggests that the Reds are planning to buy the former Porto midfielder before the end of the mid-season transfer window in January. Neves could play any midfield role in Jürgen Klopp's ideal 4-3-3 formation. Despite being primarily a defensive midfielder, he has goal contributions from the central midfield areas. 28 goals and 12 assists in 236 games for the Wolves certainly says a lot about their offensive action as a defensive midfielder. Defensively, the player is also extremely tough, as we have seen in FA Cup matches against Julian Lopetegui's side. Signing a player of his caliber and potential will give Liverpool a better shot at improving their form and in their quest to finish in the top 4 for a spot in the UEFA Champions League. However, not only Liverpool are interested in the player. Given Neves' interest in moving to Barcelona during last summer's transfer window, it makes sense for the Reds to make an offer in this transfer window, without delaying the transfer into the summer months. Barcelona, Manchester United and the like can be tough opponents, but Neves knows which team out of them urgently needs a world-class midfielder. There is a void he can fill and an environment where he can definitely find a place in the midfield if he wants to join Liverpool. Liverpool may part ways with the new transfer. Brazilian giant Palmeiras is reportedly interested in signing Liverpool midfielder Arthur Melo, while the Reds are reportedly in talks to terminate the Juventus-owned Maestro's loan contract. Palmeiras is keen to bring Arthur back to his hometown, who has struggled for form and regular minutes at both Juventus and Liverpool over the past few seasons, and it is believed the Reds are now ready to pull the plug on the midfielder's lease. Liverpool have decided that the £32 million put option Arthur is not worth the investment after a depressing loan spell on Merseyside. The former Barcelona star spent most of his time at Anfield on the treatment table. Now this January it appears that Palmeiras is a potential suitor for Arthur. The Brazilian club has currently sold star midfielder Danilo to Premier League team Nottingham Forest in a £18 million transfer. Arthur has no future at both Juventus and Liverpool. It therefore seems like a logical decision for him to return to his homeland and play regular football with one of South America's biggest sides. Also, Liverpool's exit from Arthur's loan deal would free up a sizable sum on the wage bill that could help Jürgen Klopp sign a vital midfielder in the window. The Juventus star has been underperforming for several seasons and was only able to play in one game after being transferred to the Reds, after which he suffered an injury. Arthur has the ability to be one of the best in the world in his position. However, due to his current form and injury proneness, a return to Brazil would be of great benefit for the 26-year-old.